City Councilman Rick Jones. I'm here to talk to you a little bit about the city and why it's important. A couple of concepts that you need to have a grip on is that cities are forever. If we make a mistake, it's going to be around for a long, long time. So we spend a lot of time studying things and making sure that we've got good information to make our projects count and to make them be worthwhile, not just today, but for many, many, many tomorrows. Second thing to know about cities is that they're extraordinarily diverse in mission. We have to take water out of the ground, clean it up to the point that you can drink it without it killing you or making you sick. We've got to find a way for you to dispose of that water once it's been contaminated and soiled. So we put it in a sewer pipe and take it to a very advanced plant where the products of our use are made into energy and agricultural overlays, things that will help crops grow. So full circle on our waste management. We have to pick up the garbage and dispose of that for you. We've got an aggressive recycling program to try and reuse, recycle, and return to nature where necessary the products that we use every day. We've got public safety issues, police and fire. I'm a retired paramedic supervisor for the fire department. Spent most of my life's work there, and I enjoyed every single minute of it. Very, very scientific, very focused on patient care, and very much a city operation. Another diverse little tidbit of what we do here. Our law enforcement programs are progressive, smart, and capable. Our fire department is going through an accreditation process right now that allows them to benchmark what they're doing against what other departments are doing and have done. And the more they work on that, the more they find out that we're out in front of many, if not most, in most areas of that endeavor. So that's a piece of city government that is a little bit different. We do planning and zoning to make sure that things are being built in the places where they're going to be best service to the city and the citizens. We try and reach ahead and understand what's going to be around the corner so that we can anticipate that and build the right things and find the right projects to make the city to be work. We do a ton of partnerships. Without the private sector's help, a lot of things wouldn't happen. Just for instance, the Millwork District is very exciting. We laid the stage. We got the streets cleaned up. We got the streetscapes cleaned up so that everything looked nice. We got the utilities in the ground so that everything would work. And now we've got private sector stepping up and claiming those buildings and making them into something special after 40 or 50 years of just being empty structures. So that's really good news and really forward thinking. Our leisure services department is a huge operation, running everything from parks to pools and recreation programs to keep citizens engaged and give us all something to do. It's an interesting activity. It involves facilities management. It involves programming. It involves land management, grass cutting, and landscaping. We even have a greenhouse where we grow a lot of the flowers that you see in the beds along Grandview Avenue and elsewhere in the community. So it's a very busy, very interesting activity. Public Works is a big deal. Public Works is a wide slate, and it includes everything from maintaining the streets to building the streets to making the sewers work, making the water pipes work, the water distribution system work, the fire hydrants work, keeping the streets open and drivable all winter long. We really excel at that. If you look at some other cities that are flat, you don't see plows, you don't see de-icing material placed on the streets. You just see the snow packed down and driven upon all winter long. We've got a much better system. Despite all the hills in our city, I find it safe to drive. When I was on the fire department, never in all the years and all the calls, thousands and thousands of calls that I went on in all kinds of weather conditions, never was I not able to complete the call because of street conditions. I was always able to get where I needed to go 24/7 every day. So I'm pretty proud of that team as well. The biggest challenge for city government is building a budget every year. And we take our time doing that. We'll be meeting in August of this year, August of just about every year really, with a consultant, and we talk about the goals that we have for the next 12, 24 months, 5 years, 10 years, where we'd like to find ourselves. And we have input from all of the city department heads on the things that they believe that they need to advance their departments and the things that they think should be in the goals. And we have to prioritize all of that. It's a real challenge to do so. It's hours and hours and hours of sitting in a room, and basically you come in with a list of about 100 things that are great things that you'd love to get done, and you have to winnow them down to 20 things or so that can be done. And you can imagine the challenge in that. We've ended up with a good list every year, and we've ended up with the ability to get most of them done every year. So I'm very proud of that. Now this year things have changed dramatically. COVID-19 has reared its ugly head, and it's slowed down employment for a lot of people. It's also going to slow down revenue for the city of Dubuque. We haven't got a great deal of parking revenue. In fact, we abandoned parking enforcement for about a month and a half to make it easier for people that had to get downtown to do what they needed to do. But that's also abandoning some dollars that flow into the system. And without large numbers of people parking downtown using the ramps and such, the money that the city needs to operate those things goes away. The costs of operating them don't go away. So that's a big challenge. Our street maintenance program isn't going away, whether people are paying their taxes or not. So we'll have to keep a close eye on our revenues and make sure that we can accomplish the things that we want to do in the next months. Our government in Dubuque is a city manager, city council type. That means we've got a professional full-time city manager in the personage of Mike Van Milligan, who is the chief executive officer of the city. He does all the operations. All the employees work for him. In fact, we only have 3 employees as a city council: the city manager, the city attorney, and the city clerk work for us. Everybody else in the organization works for them, most of them for the city manager. So his job is to manage the budget that we put together, and the budget has some policy attached to him. In other words, here's some money, but we're going to spend it only on this, or only on that, or we'd like to see an improvement in this particular activity. So we can build the budget that way to shift the policy and swing the policy around and improve life for our citizens, because that's the #1 goal. We want you to wake up feeling safe. We want you to come out of your house feeling safe and feeling like you got some fun things to do and some fun choices. And ultimately, we want people like you to grow up and think, wow, what a great place to live. I hope I get to keep living here. Now, my job is to make it so, to make it a place that's desirable to not just you, but to other people from around the country that are looking for a place to live so we can grow our community. We need to do that. Employers are suffering for workforce. And the only way that's going to get better is if we grow the numbers of people living in Dubuque. We're skilling up some people. We've got a lot of partnerships, again, with the Northeast Iowa Community College and others to help people find their way to the next level of their lives. And we're very proud of that. We've got a lot of opportunities for service in the city, a lot of volunteer opportunities. We have about a dozen or more boards and commissions, staffed by citizens who volunteer to do some of the heavy lifting for the city council. Good examples, the Park and Recreation Commission. They'll analyze issues within the park, and they'll help us with our goal setting process by contributing their wish list to us every year. But that's a citizen group that filters policy and brings important recommendations to the city council that we'll either implement or not. Most of the time we'll follow what our boards and commissions have to say, because they're digging into it in great levels. So back to that budget business. We go through goal setting, we set up a list of priorities, and the city manager takes that back and works with his department managers through a series of internal hearings to bring us in wintertime list of priorities that are in the recommended budget. It establishes a tax rate, it establishes his recommendations on the things that we can afford and the things that we can't, and the council goes through that department by department in a series of public meetings to allow people input on whether things should happen or shouldn't happen, whether the citizenry agrees that something's a good idea or not. And ultimately, we certify the budget at the end of March, and that becomes our working tool for the fiscal year that begins in July. So from July 1st through June 30th, the city will operate based on that budget process that took a year ahead of that time to create. And we no sooner finish that process, than we begin anew. So we're getting ready to meet again and establish our priorities. So pretty exciting stuff most of the time, pretty boring some of the time, pretty important all of the time. And more important with input from folks like you. We'd like to know what you're thinking. We'd like to know what you think we're doing right and what you think we're doing wrong, and give us a chance to do it better. We're not the best city in the world, but boy, we reach for it every single day. It's important to us that you have a good lived experience being in Dubuque, Iowa. Thanks for listening to me. Call me if you got any questions. My phone number is 556-3490, or you can reach me by email, rjones@cityofdubuque, all one conglomerated word, .org, O-R-G. Thanks a bunch. Take care.